things happen is imagine. Imagine.
Imagine.
Hi, welcome to Moments with Mimi, and today we're going to talk about sex. That's right, we're going to talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. But anyways, the state akin to sleep, the technique that Neville Goddard describes that is told to you in the Bible through the story of Jacob and Esau is about you understanding that you can go into your imagination and imagine having something you want, and if you touch it, then it's just a surefire, it's yours. It was touched. So, this is what the Bible tells you. But the Bible also tells you that any of your senses work, and Neville states this as well. The state akin to sleep is basically just, when you're gelling, you're gelling. You don't have to do it before you go to bed. I mean, how do you have sex? Do you always have sex before you go to sleep? Do you have it in the middle of the day? You have sex all the time, right? Night, day, whatever. All different kinds of ways. So you're having energy sex. You're having sex with yourself. So you relax, baby. You just relax. And you get into the quiet silence. Get in the mood. Catch that mood. And imagine the end. This is to get you out of a mess. This is so you can experience something you really want to experience that's on your bucket list. This is something that, you can have. This is why people, imagine living in a great apartment, for example, and they don't have the money for the apartment. And then they get the money for the apartment, and they get the apartment, but they don't get any more money so they can keep the apartment, because they have a lack of mentality, so they lose the apartment. So the idea is, you go to that law, the law of freedom, the law of liberty, the law of salvation, when you need to be saved. That's why it's called freedom, liberty, salvation. So, it's a hack. Okay, when you really need something, this is how you get straight to dad. This is the bat phone, okay? This is the hotline. This is straight to pops, okay? You don't have to do it before you go to bed, but you do have to keep doing it until you reach satisfaction. Now, what is that? Well, you're holding that image in your mind, or feeling people hugging you or congratulating you, or whatever your end is, holding that check, whatever. And it's that small phrase, isn't it wonderful? Thank you. Amen. It is done. Whatever resonates with you, whatever works with you. And then you just keep saying it and feeling that feeling of love that's underneath it. You're being congratulated. You feel loved. You feel all the attention everyone has on you. That's love. You feel the love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And as you repeat it, and you keep repeating it, you keep holding that feeling, it will explode out of you. You will feel it. Done. Satisfaction achieved. You just had energy sex. You just climaxed. You just made a baby. Okay? It's done. Now, go work on yourself so when the apartment comes, you can keep it's yours. Okay? You don't have to keep going to the well to get money to keep the apartment. You know, it's yours. Okay, it's great. It's mine. It's always mine. I love it. I love it. You know, this is the best place ever. I always have money to pay my rent. It's the best place ever. You know, oh, you like it? Yeah, I love it. And then you're walking more in a state of wealth that comes to you because you always want to live here. You love it. So it's about, you know, understanding that's a hack. And that's why everyone really loves Neville. You know, he's giving you a life hack. You want to be free? Here. You know, now he used it to the extent that he got called up and he got shown all the stuff that we're living through and will live through. And he hacked his way in. They told him that. You can change states of consciousness. You know, that's why you got called up. You're so good at it. You know? So it's a hack. And it's not something to constantly be using to shape your life. The way you shape your life is aligning with the divine in you. The trees, the grass, the sand, the stars, these are all prosperous and abundant. Life is prosperous and abundant because you are. God's inside you and it's projected out. That all came out of you. Okay? You are the one who's been saying, I can't have this or I can't have that. So that comes with the I accept that. And you tell a little story about it. I accept that. I can't wait till that first comes. It looks really good on me. I love it. You know, it's natural. Make it natural. Be like a little kid. Look at Rita. She's just so beautiful. She's the best. She's the best Rita ever. Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Play. You want to give speeches? You know, Hitler spent hours and hours and hours in front of the mirror making his speeches. You know, compelled to do it because he imagined the French being humiliated at the same train car at Versailles as happened to the Germans in World War I. And as soon as he got that, everything went downhill from there. His beliefs kicked in. He saw others. You know, and on a humanitarian level, it was the final battle of Armageddon, really. You know, we're not going to play this. We're not going to do this again. Nah, I don't think so. You know, and then you evolve, you move forward. So I hope this helps. You're really having energy sex, and you can have it at any time, anywhere. It doesn't have to be before you go to bed. I've been cleaning the walls and, you know, then just went to silence for a minute. Imagined, you know, it was about a tree in the lot next door, and they really needed to take it down. So, and they were refusing to do so. So, I just imagined my husband and I standing out there, him hugging me, saying, "Isn't it great they took that tree out?" And we're seeing it without the tree. And 3 days later, that tree was gone, and they took it. So, you know, it's sex. I don't do it before bed. I don't like that. You know, I want to go smoke a cigarette and drink some tea and, you know, sweet tea. Play a game a little bit, watch a few videos maybe, and go to bed. But that's me. Okay, everybody's different. Some people have sex and go right to sleep. Then, you know, doing that right before bed is great. But you need to think about it. And a lot of people say, this is the Neville way. You have to do. No. What works for Neville is Neville. You are to take the teachings and apply them, not the perception of the teacher, not what works for the teacher. That's him. This is a teaching. Look, it's been told throughout time and space. You know, which story do you want to hear it from? It's in the Bible. It's in the ancient Egyptian Coptic. It's in the Assyrians. It's everywhere. You are the baby. Dad's telling the story of you becoming one with him. Y'all are telling this story over and over again in 50 billion different ways if you look at it subjectively. So I hope this helps. It's really having sex with yourself, and you know, physical sex is a great way of doing it as well. The Bible tells you this too. Now, don't have sex unless you want to procreate, which, you know, on an objective level, that means make babies, physical babies. But on a subjective level, it means when you climax, whatever you're thinking at that moment is, or what you've been thinking getting up to that moment, has been shot out. And you're going to see it. You're going to see it. And what you do with it after that's up to you. So, you know, that's a great time to, if you've been wondering about, you wish you had something you could really use, that's it, physical sex. And then you're double climaxing, you know, because you physically built yourself up into a physical and energetic climax at the same time. So it's about, you know, using that for yourself. And that, it doesn't matter if you're masturbating or having physical sex. You know, you can use that as a rocket launcher. But understand that SATS is having energy sex. You go prepare yourself to have sex. Because you relax. You get in the mood. And now, tell the story. I hope this helps. Blessings to you. And thank you. Thank you for being you.
I'm engaged, and once he took, but I didn't. It was never time. All the oh my sweet mystery of life. At last I found you.